Across the world, millions of people work harder than ever before. They wake up early, they stay late, they sacrifice weekends, health, and personal time, yet financially they feel stuck. Income barely increases, savings remain fragile, the future feels uncertain. This creates confusion because society repeats one message endlessly: hard work leads to success. But according to Mark Cuban, that message is dangerously incomplete. In fact, he argues that hard work by itself is one of the biggest reasons people remain poor. Not because hard work is bad, but because hard work without strategy traps people in low-value effort. This video explains what Cuban really means and why understanding it can completely change your financial trajectory. Why Mark Cuban's opinion matters more than motivational advice. Mark Cuban is not a theorist. He did not inherit wealth. He did not follow a traditional career path. He did not succeed by playing safe. He sold garbage bags door to door. He bartended. He slept on floors while building his first companies. Later, he built and sold businesses worth billions. Cuban has seen both sides of the equation: extreme effort with little reward, strategic effort with massive leverage. That contrast shaped his worldview. When Cuban criticizes blind hard work, he is not attacking discipline. He is attacking misdirected effort. Hard work is abundant, economic value is not. One of Cuban's most important insights is simple but uncomfortable. Hard work is everywhere. Millions of people work extremely hard every single day. Construction workers, drivers, nurses, factory employees, retail workers, yet most of them struggle financially. If hard work alone created wealth, these groups would be rich. The market does not reward effort. It rewards scarcity and leverage. When effort is abundant and easily replaceable, it becomes cheap. This is why working harder inside a low-value system rarely leads to wealth. Why the market does not pay for effort, only for results. The economy is not moral. It does not care how honest you are. It does not care how exhausted you feel. It does not care how much you sacrifice. It only measures output. If one person produces 10 times the impact of another, the market pays them more, even if they work fewer hours. Cuban emphasizes this repeatedly. He says people stay poor because they focus on how hard they work, not how valuable their output is. That difference explains most income inequality. Busy people are often the most financially stuck. Business feels productive. It creates the feeling of progress. It creates exhaustion that feels earned. It creates moral comfort. But business can be a trap. Cuban warns that many people stay busy to avoid confronting a harder truth. Their work may not be valuable enough. Being busy does not mean being strategic. You can fill every hour of the day and still move nowhere financially. Wealth requires direction, not just motion. Why hard work locks people into low-pay roles? Low-pay roles usually share common traits. They are already easy to train, easy to replace, easy to standardize. In these roles, effort does not increase leverage. You can work harder, but you cannot demand more pay because someone else can replace you quickly. Cuban argues that replaceability is the enemy of wealth. Hard work without differentiation strengthens replaceability instead of reducing it. Skill acquisition, not effort, is the real divider. Cuban consistently emphasizes learning, not learning for credentials, learning for market value. Effort resets every day. Skills compound over time. A valuable skill increases income without increasing hours. Hard work without skill growth leads to exhaustion. Skill growth turns effort into leverage. This is one of Cuban's most repeated messages. Why most people work harder instead of thinking better. When income stagnates, most people react instinctively. They work more hours, they take second jobs, they push harder. Cuban believes this is often the wrong response. More effort in the wrong direction deepens the problem. What is needed is strategic repositioning, not exhaustion. Hard work should follow strategy, not replace it. The dangerous romanticism of struggle. Society praises struggle. We celebrate hustle culture. We admire sacrifice. We glorify burnout, but admiration does not create wealth. Cuban warns that many people receive emotional validation for struggle while remaining financially stagnant. The system applauds effort but pays outcomes. Confusing the two keeps people trapped. Why Mark Cuban obsesses over learning? Cuban has said that early in his career, he read constantly, not for motivation, not for inspiration, for advantage. He believes learning faster than others creates asymmetry. When you understand something before others do, you gain leverage. Hard work without learning keeps you running in place. Learning transforms effort into opportunities. If this video is already challenging what you were taught about work and success, subscribe to the channel. This space breaks down uncomfortable truths most people discover far too late. Now let's continue, because the next part explains why exhaustion itself keeps people poor, why exhaustion destroys financial decision-making. Exhausted people make defensive decisions. They avoid risk. They accept bad deals. They cling to security. Cuban believes exhaustion narrows thinking. When survival dominates your mind, long-term strategy disappears. Hard work that drains mental energy reduces your ability to think clearly about money. That is why many hardworking people stay financially stuck. Time is not your most valuable asset. Leverage is. People are taught to sell time for money. That model has limits. Once income depends entirely on hours worked, growth stops. Cuban focuses on leverage, systems, ownership, scalable skills. Leverage allows effort to multiply without extra hours. Hard work without leverage creates a ceiling. Why employees struggle while owners scale? Employees trade time for income. Owners build systems that earn independently of time. Cuban has been both. He says wealth comes from owning outcomes, not just contributing effort. Hard workers often remain employees because they never shift from execution to ownership. Passion and hard work without demand leads to poverty. Passion is celebrated, but passion does not create demand. Cuban warns that loving something does not mean the market will pay for it. Hard work applied to low-demand skills leads to frustration. Wealth emerges where passion meets market need. Ignoring demand is one of the most common financial mistakes. Why high-value skills change everything? High-value skills share three traits. They are difficult to replace. They solve expensive problems. They scale beyond time. Cuban encourages learning skills connected to technology, systems, and problem-solving. These skills turn effort into income growth. Why most people never escape the grind? The grind provides structure. It creates identity. It offers moral comforts. But it also keeps people too tired to think strategically. Cuban believes grinding is useful early. Staying in it forever is dangerous. What works smarter actually means to Mark Cuban. Cuban does not mean shortcuts. He means learning continuously, positioning where demand grows, building leverage, reducing replaceability. Smart work multiplies effort. Hard work alone does not. Why fear of risk keeps people poor? Hard workers often avoid risk. They cannot afford mistakes. They rely on steady income. Cuban understands this fear, but he also warns that avoiding all risk guarantees stagnation. Wealth requires calculated risk, not blind safety. Ownership is the hidden wealth multiplier. Ownership changes incentives. When you own the effort compounds, learning pays repeatedly. Value grows over time. Without ownership, effort resets daily. Cuban believes ownership is essential for wealth. Information is more valuable than labor. In the modern economy, understanding systems creates more value than operating them. Cuban built wealth by understanding where technology was heading. Hard work without information keeps people reactive. Information creates leverage. This is not an attack on hard work. Cuban respects discipline deeply. What he rejects is blind loyalty to effort. Hard work is a tool, not a strategy. Without direction, it leads nowhere. What this means for regular people: you do not need billions to apply this, you need awareness. Ask, is my work scalable? Is my skill growing in demand? Am I building leverage or burning time? These questions determine your financial future. the real warning from Mark Cuban. Cuban is not saying stop working hard. He is saying stop believing hard work alone is enough. That belief keeps people loyal to struggle. The market rewards value, not sacrifice. The question that changes everything. Ask yourself honestly, am I exhausted because I am building something, or because I am stuck? Your answer explains your financial reality. If this video changed how you think about work, money, and success, subscribe to the channel and comment below. Do you think hard work is overrated or just misused? Understanding this difference changes everything.